Welcome to the movies.
Hi friends, welcome to the review of one of the most awaited movies of the year, The Batman. Let me start by saying that this is a movie like none other. This is a completely unconventional take from Marvel on the Batman franchise. It's really difficult to put it in a few minutes, but I'll try my best. Keeping the actual plot apart, I'll try to give you as much details without spoiling the movie for you. Believe me, it's really an experience that you would hardly forget when you come out of these movie theaters. It is going to linger with you for a long, long time. When I say unconventional, it's unconventional in the way how Batman is portrayed, how, the character and its history lingers around, not between black and white, but more like the gray areas. It's also unconventional in the aspect how it portrays more like the current political landscape than what's shown in the comics. To give you an example, in one of the scenes, an Asian person is being attacked by a bunch of hooligans, which Batman ends up saving. And this really resonated with me given the anti-Asian crime that's going on in the city. There's also other aspects which felt really close to home, since there was a lot of locations and even names of these locations around New York City, like Gotham Madison Square, which plays a central location in one of the sequences. And if you've been to New York, Madison Square is the center of the city in many ways. The central character, aka of the Batman or Bruce Wayne, is played by Robert Pattinson. Some of us remember Robert Pattinson as this great looking sexy guy that broke up into the scene from the Twilight series. But over the years, I have tracked his career and he's completely come out of the initial image, just kind of like what Leonardo did from Titanic. And he's grown into this powerhouse of an actor who puts his skin into any role that he does. Think about The Lighthouse, where he was paired against a seasoned actor like William Dafoe. Recent Netflix series where he just nails the southern accent when he plays this evil reverend. And talking about his performances, this movie is second to none. The way in which this movie is shot is very different from any other Batman movies. There are very few dialogues. A lot of things are said in terms of like expressions and through actions and body language. He talks a lot through his eyes, even when acting through the mask. It's mesmerizing. After watching him and comparing him with Christian Bale, who took this role to a different level, you could tell that he's second to none. And I'm excited to watch more of him in this role in future. He really put soul into this role. I would though say that, it would have been nice to see kind of more of a physical, transformation, or it's very subdued. I know it's there, but it's very subdued. Like they show him from the back and you could see that he's really become muscular, but I think it's kind of agreeing with the aesthetics of the movie where they don't show you everything. Anyways, the Catwoman is played by Zoe Kravitz and she's phenomenal. I think she is probably going to go down as one of the best Catwoman characters. She's intense, she's expressive, and being the only female character in the plot, she brings a different dimension. She brings this vulnerability, this emotions, this along with the edginess that her character is supposed to portray. And there's also a great arc of her with the villain of the movie, which adds a different dimension to it. And her chemistry with Robert Pattinson is just incredible. I mean, it's not a lot of words, it's not a lot of interactions even, but in the limited interaction and in the things that they together, and then in certain subdued fashion, it's just so beautifully entangled with the story, and it's so beautifully portrayed. At some point you could just feel it, both the joy of Batman and the Catwoman being together, and then at some point the tragedy of them taking their own paths eventually. Somebody I could not recognize until I got to know about the cast in the movie, and that's Colin Farrell, who is one of the villains of the movie, and he's just played that to perfection. I mean, the voice modulation, the laughter, the body language is just there, you know. It's really amazing. Talking about the other cast members, the police chief is played by Jeffrey Wright, who is so convincing in this character. So convincing, he kind of humanizes the police force opposite to what in terms of the rest of the cast. It's amazing. I mean, his equation and his chemistry with Batman throughout the movie is pretty phenomenal. I cannot go without talking about the cinematography and the lighting, and particularly about the lighting. I think if there was a central character apart from the Batman and the city of Gotham, it would be the lighting. And it's so amazing in the way how it plays around the movie. It's like every shot is a story through lights and shadows. And no wonder in one of the opening monologues they're afraid of that shadow. That reminds me of the scene where a Batman walks in for the first time while something wrong is being done, and it just pumped me up so much. It was amazing. I mean, it's gloomy, it's dark, but there's also action and there's always hope through the lights and cinematography. Apart from this, I would say the storyline is pretty convincing. It was long, 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is unusual for a Marvel movie, but you probably won't have it another way given the scope of the story and how much it covers, and even without revealing much. What I also like about the movie is that the sequences, like the action and fight sequences, are not over the top. They are not taking on a chunk of the time of the movie, but wherever they are, take it to another level, and if you see that till the end, it really appears that it's been taken to a freakish level. The sound engineering is brilliant. You actually feel everything that's happening. It's pretty, and it's one of the reasons why you want to watch this movie in the theaters, because it just brings on the whole effect. But there are redeeming qualities in the stories. There is hope in the end. There's a lot of takeaway. The minions of the villain says, "I'm vengeance." So in the end, I would give this movie like 4 out of 5 stars. I usually give 5 stars to like some all-time greats, but it's combining the acting and the cinematography, the character development, and the story in general. I would give it 4. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this newly developed Batman and how they move forward with this. And I hope they have a sequel. So yeah, go watch it. It's not an experience to be missed. I'll see you again. Thank you.